Welcome back. We're here for the third series of the day. And, okay, everything okay?
Fine.
Okay,
Welcome.
just checking. Are you winning in Hearthstone, Lumi?
You know what? I think Lumi stole my food.
What?
Someone stole my
Really?
food. He's a bacon thief.
I
so.
ordered pad thai. Did you order pad thai?
No.
What?
I ordered yakiniku, and someone ate my yakiniku.
Oh.
And I assume it
You
was
gotta
you
blame the
because,
Asian
probably
guy.
one of
you are the bacon thief after all.
Okay.
Probably
So
one of the
you already
players,
have
I
a
would say.
reputation.
I didn't steal your food. My
So-
name had, my name was written on my food.
Yeah, your food had name in it, so it's like
very
it's completely
special.
fine.
I know.
What's this
Nobody else had
parental
that.
treatment. We don't have our name written on our food.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Was it Shiva or was it Joreen?
It was Shiv.
What did you order?
Shiv.
I don't know. It was meat. No, I don't know what the name was. It was Jakiniku. Jakiniku. Like I just got
Oh.
said Jakiniku.
The plot.
It was
Plot twist.
So someone took Bruno's food, wrote the name Shiver on it.
Okay.
I see how it is.
We have a game coming.
Oops.
VP.Polar versus 4ASC.
Well, you have like the most awkward laugh. Awkward smile.
No.
Okay. Anyways.
No, it's fine.
We do have a game.
Yeah, no, I had some pasta in the end, so it was okay. I'm going to get some more food because I really wanted my yakiniku, so I'm getting it.
Don't starve.
I'm
Bruno.
hungry. I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten all day, and it's like...
It makes you grumpy.
It really does. It's, I don't know, it's something about food, you know?
I know
I never
this.
saw you grumpy.
People that watch my stream know this. Like at some point around 4, I get grumpy.
You do?
When ask Shane, I play with Shane, and he's like, "Shiva, you need some food."
That's a thing. I get hunger grumpy as hell when I stream as well.
Yeah.
Easy to forget.
Yes. Unless it's like in hand range, then it's fine.
Yeah, and you're just like...
Yeah.
Like Bruno's food.
Or dimes.
You mean these?
Yeah. Wow. Shameless plug.
It's
Sell out.
so good. It's so good.
Shameless plug. But the ones that are not grumpy are actually the players because I've seen them, they were all eating
Yeah.
what they wanted.
Players seem pretty happy.
Yeah, they're well taken care of.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you're a player, you actually get like 4 different menus from restaurants. It's like, what do you want to eat?
What do
and
you
they're like,
want
oh.
FNG and Matumba
Yes.
seem pretty happy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, they were like so full that they were
It was
falling
so
asleep
cozy.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they're no longer like having the food coma because they both have to play. It is going to be them two facing against each other, and it should be a good series. I have to say though, I mean, today's series, both have been really good.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, for ASC, kind of. I mean, we were talking about this in phase 1, right? Like, no one remembers. Phase 1 never happened, guys. This is just the beginning of the tournament. It wasn't even a
Nothing
ticket. But in the phase 1 that didn't exist, we were talking with Lumi. We're kind of fans of these teams.
Yes, they are.
Because, like...
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So we were casting a Dreamleague, the B stream, Dreamleague 2, which, by the way, according to some people, you weren't even casting.
No, I
because
wasn't.
They didn't know where you were.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about 4ASC, and they kind of like, because they were the underdogs qualifying team,
Yeah.
you still remember that these guys took off Team Secret.
Yep.
Not only once, but twice in a double elimination in the qualifiers, which also didn't exist. And they they went to the winner's bracket, they got to Secret, they sent Secret to the lower bracket, they got to the final, played against Tinker, lost 2-1 versus Tinker, got to face Secret against who came from the lower bracket, and once again there, 2-0 straight away.
Yeah, and
Completely outplayed.
they just also got here as well after getting 3rd place on another land. So
Yeah.
really strong play overall by 4ASC. And I mean, everyone is keeping their eyes on them. Right? Even Reddit are posting and sharing love for Jerax and the entirety of them actually.
Yeah.
Trixie is playing amazing as well.
Yeah,
VP.Polar is playing really good too.
yeah, they are.
And that's why I'm actually curious. Like, I mean, obviously I'm sitting here, or standing here rather, with a lot of 4ASC fanboys, but what's your prediction for this match? Is it actually 2-0, or are you going to give VP.Polar a bit more credit?
I'm gonna bandwagon the fan train and go with 2-0 for AFC, yeah.
No, let's see. How long is
I'm
the
a
train?
1-1. FNG so smart. So smart.
This is true.
Yeah.
I think FNG always takes the game late, and I think that's where 4ASC actually struggles the most in. So I'm going to go with 2-0 Polar.
Okay.
Even though I actually like 4ASC.
Nice. Like hearing your motivation for it.
So I'm the deciding vote?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I actually... Like,
Someone is going to be right, though.
Electricity shortage.
We got it all covered.
And then
always discovered.
yeah.
No,
or Twitch dies. Or new patch comes in the middle of the games and there's no...
Actually, that is not even that... Like,
That is not that crazy.
that is actually
That is
a
not
legit
that
option.
crazy. Yeah, that could happen.
Want to see some odds on that?
I'm gonna say between game 1 and game 2, the patch is gonna come. But for that last second game, I don't make a prediction because who knows what happens then, right?
Right.
For the first game, so if it was only one game, I would put it in hands of 4ASC.
Cool. It's so easy to go to 4FC, right?
Yeah, I make the mistake a lot, to be honest.
4 anchors and a sea captain, not
Maybe.
4 friends and Crilly.
Maybe it's a poke.
Aha.
At the friend.
It is.
Sweets.
Or it could also be a draw. We can go full WCA, remember? Those series that had draws in it.
Yeah. But then it's like 1-1.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean game 1 being a draw?
Yeah, game 1 being draw.
So that would mean game 1, at the end of game 1, the patch comes, someone crashes, can't reconnect back in, everything goes blue and nobody knows who won, then it's a draw. Basically.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
No, we
Okay.
would play that.
I'll
wouldn't
stick to
allow
my
it.
prediction then.
Fair
Patch is
enough.
gonna come in between the games, guys. In before. Ban
Zero
out
confirmed.
Phoenix.
Sure,
Bird.
confirmed Dice Frog.
Yeah.
Man.
Ice Frog at the desk.
I had to give you my frog hat. Anyways, so that is, I don't know how the game is looking, if we are starting or not.
No one knows.
The game,
We
the
actually
draft
in the
is
draft.
already going.
Cool.
Oh,
So-
wow. Oh, can we try? Yes. Okay, so
Shiva wants
Can
to
we
do the
try?
Pyrian.
we can do it together. Do you want to do it together? No? Well, we're going to go into the
I'll let
draft.
you.
It's going to be, of course, 4ASC taking on VP.Polar. I was too fast. I have to learn from Pyrian.
Last time you were too slow, so I mean,
Yeah.
now you overshot in speed.
Okay. Next time, I'll be better.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Improvement coming up. So Lumi, we're here once again,
Alone, finally.
alone at last. Okay, so tell me what's happening, Lumi.
We are seeing Void and Razor being first to pick for VP.Polar and Skywrath Mage. I actually think it's pretty awesome to open the draft with Void because it's good against Slark, even though Slark's banned out. It's good against the hero that 4AC likes to pick a lot. Valix is LC, the anti-mage from Tumba Man. Theoretically, they're pretty good.
Theoretically good
Right,
against
because
anti-mage.
we've seen 4FC counter-pick Void by picking anti-mage, which just like goes against Dota theory, right?
Yeah.
But you know,
Breaking the game.
breaking the game.
Well, again though, late game, you mentioned this right before the game, that FNG really likes to go late, and Razor and Void seems to be a pretty potent combo when you hit the 45, 50 plus minute mark. And earlier on, I wouldn't say the Razor is the most amazing, but you can still throw the Plasma Field into a Chronosphere and maybe even get in for a Static Link during it, so it's decent. And it seems that 4ASC first picks Skywrath every single time if
That
they
they
get
can.
the chance.
That they
Yeah,
can,
if they get the
yeah.
chance, they will always go for this.
They're going to pick a little bit into VP.Polar's hero. This is one of Mag's or DK Football's kind of go-to heroes, but obviously Trixie is very good on this hero as well, so kind of like a little pick-deny situation.
Yeah, and that's nice because we have seen Mag play Centaur so much that I kind of want to see him play something else. Respect ban out to the Witch Doctor after Lil Hardy. Definitely played amazing in the last game.
FNG, the most beautiful Dota player.
So beautiful. There's a lot of focus.
Internet is down.
Internet is down?
Apparently is the message that FNG shouted at us.
Okay. That's not too good. We see a nice, close, intimate zoom up with Trixie. Doesn't look too certain about things right now.
Wait, if internet is down, they can't hear you.
No. Obviously. I don't know, man. Maybe someone's internet is down. Okay. Skype seems to be down for the players.
They're playing the other game. So it must be like a local...
Yeah, my Twitter works.
No. Internet is up for us, but there are some issues for some of the players regarding their Skype and maybe their internet on the players. But we're in the draft, so you can't see if anyone is disconnected. But it's over on Virtus.Pro Polar side.
Is there any admin around?
Yeah, all five
Have actually DC'd.
Polar players have disconnected.
Yeah, so we got halfway through the draft, and then the DC came out. So we're probably gonna have to have a remake from this game.
You
unless
found
they
an
connect.
Okay.
Bruno is on it, guys. He's gonna fix this.
By now, have you recognized all of the players and their faces?
What do you mean? Like, who is who?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. not entirely sure on
Who's that?
which one.
The one on camera right now.
That is. That's not. Is it Valix? It's hard to see people from above. Well, that's Trixie, obviously. But yeah, it's Valix.
Who's that?
I forget his name. Wait, I know who it is.
That's Shirley.
Yeah, it's Dylan.
Yeah, Shirley.
Yeah, I like that he always keeps his IS though. Even though he uses a fake name, he still has the abbreviation at least for his fake name.
No, but he's just saying he is Shirley.
Surely. So, you think 2-0 for Polar, huh?
They're just more comfortable in late game. Although they're haven't shown that they're invincible late. Because they did lose that Deuce game.
Yeah, they did lose that game. That was also extremely tight. It was just the decision making was a little bit back and forth towards the closing of the game. So always risky, but they went for a Divine at least, so I'm happy. But I don't really like seeing Dusas take the game late, to be honest. I want Dusa to close the game early.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she's one of those.
No, I actually think that. Like, people have the wrong mindset when it comes to Medusa. They want to farm up, get the Manta, get the Lincolns, get the Heart, get the Scotty, you know, all these items. All you really need is just a BKB, Mask of Madness, and Divine.
I think that's a very situational build.
Yeah, of course. If you're up against like Venge and Beastmaster and tons of stuff that goes through your BKB, sure. But
I think the
assume
build,
you have a draft that's made for playing Dusa.
I mean, I think that build was perfect for the game that they were in.
Well, they lost. Not actually perfect.
Not thanks to the build.
Well, the build didn't make them win, Lumi. Not impressed.
All right. Waga just want to see people go for the build that he likes to do.
Yeah, of course. I think it's more effective. It's a matter of how much gold you farm, because everyone else is so strong at the late stage. I can justify it. Like, think about how many hexes they had. They even had a chance to have even more hexes.
More hexes, yeah.
With the Tidehunter. So they could obviously have done
But here's the
a
thing,
lot
though.
more.
If you look at the game, they never won the game by beating the Dusa. They won the game by
Yeah,
preventing
because
him.
she's tanky. She only builds tanky. She has Lincoln, she has
Yeah, they could
Mad-Style,
never kill
Butterfly.
her. They could never
Yeah,
kill
and
her.
she never killed the enemy either
are you
in the
kidding
beginning.
me? With the Divine
Until she
Rapier.
had her Divine, which was at the
Oh.
point where her net worth is over 25,000. I'm talking about a Dusa. I have a dream, Lumi. About a Dusa, we can kill people at 12,500 net worth. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine the
Sure.
early game finish Dusa?
Okay.
It's doable. People are just too scared.
Well, we're waiting at the moment because Virtus.Pro has some network problems, as was already said.
Yeah, we have leg problems. We're gonna sit.
Ah, fair enough.
Fair enough. I wish, yeah.
Do you want to sit? I feel short. Do you have an apple box
Wow.
for me?
I don't. You're taller than Bruno. Not than Bruno.
Yeah, I'm
You're
taller
than
than Bruno.
Shane. Though he was standing next to me yesterday.
Yeah.
I got rewarded with a Reddit post.
Well, we can
and they were
play
talking
with,
about the Shane box.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You can take one step back, like here. No, here. Seal up.
Oh, still up.
Seal up. Otherwise, you're. But like, see, like
Okay.
this, we play
This
with.
is a bit-
Oh,
this is a bit-
perspective.
Perspective is amazing. Please don't fall.
smooth.
Nice.
This is awesome.
Thank you so much. But you feel so far away. Please come back.
By the way, for people wondering, Shane and Pyrion are right now casting Tinker taking on MVP Phoenix.
Yes.
And from the sound of it, they're having a ton of fun. That is twitch.tv/Dreamleague 2.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we don't even get a game. Me and Lumi
No.
are having so much fun as well.
I know. We have more fun with less. The power
That
of
is-
love.
Wow.
Like you saw the picture like on the Twitch TV thumbnail.
Yes.
They were like you two looking at each other, very like JD
True.
and Turk kind of thing.
It was very, like, you could burst into song, basically, based upon that picture.
All right.
Lumi, can we have another rap?
Can we have another rap?
Yeah, not
Yes,
now,
please.
but later in the week.
I mean,
I gotta
Can
check
you-
with my agency.
Can you prepare
Okay.
one?
the thing is that his mic and his
What are you doing?
his microphone
Hands
and his
above.
Waga, join the lobby.
are
I
actually
thought you
saying-
were gonna say that his arms are sweaty.
Oh, that too. No, his mic actually says Luminem on it. If you
Ah.
read it.
Yeah, it actually does say
Really?
Luminem.
It says Lumi IEM.
Luminem.
Luminem, man. Just add an M.
Luminem.
Luminem.
That's pretty good.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair
maybe
enough.
We might have a rap. DreamHack Finals, maybe.
The poker rap.
Is there a stretch goal?
There is no stretch goal.
Because there is a ticket in the
We
store.
can make our own stretch goal.
We can't even get $10,000 in the ticket.
I'm
Come
doing the
on.
plug stream right here because we're like, we
Nice.
have some time.
Right.
So there is a ticket in the store. And by buying the ticket, you can watch the games in game and you can support the players.
Yes.
And that's it.
Like all other tickets.
Like
But
all other
why
tickets.
is this different?
Because there's no items.
I give you made it worse.
It's like you don't get anything.
So this is different
From a
because
viewer
it's
perspective. No, it's
That's what
different, but
she's
it's also a
saying.
lot better because basically everything that's not going to Valve is going to the players.
right.
And that's a big difference.
So we don't get any money.
We don't get any
And
money.
DreamHack doesn't get any money.
No.
No one gets any money except the players.
And Valve.
Yeah. Which was really funny because I was checking yesterday, and again, like, of course, the ticket is not selling as much as like other tickets because
Yeah,
it doesn't
makes
have any
sense.
items, right? And because of the distribution of the prize pool, like from 8 to 16, or from 7 to 16, everyone that's not going to the LAN, they get 5% of the prize pool. And yesterday, that was $3 to $2.
Oh,
Amazing.
nice.
So that was like, I wanted to take a screenshot, but then I thought, like, this is really sad. I can't take a screenshot of this.
No.
But hey, if you want to contribute, I mean, again, it's just like, it's not for us, it's for them only.
And
so.
it's $5 and it's 2.5 go to the prize pool.
Yeah.
Like it's literally 50% of the entire ticket, which is a lot.
Throw money at the pro players. They deserve
Yes,
They
it.
really
they
need
do deserve
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I get
worth
it.
mentioning. Also worth mentioning our sponsors, ASUS and NVIDIA. I mean, if I'm doing a sell, then might as well just throw it all out there. And
Well,
we're
do you
also
know what
in the
ROG
Monster
means in-
Energy DreamHack Studios.
Do you know what ROG means in ASUS? ROG?
Yeah, a Republic of Gamers.
Nice. And what is the slogan?
We make the rules.
If you don't remember, you can just look around.
The choice of champions.
Why not of heroes?
Because we lol now.
We lol now. The
lol
choice
now.
of champions.
I don't know, I had to...
Wait,
I mean,
I
it's
thought
just the
Rocat says
alliteration.
we set the rules.
No, that's Rocket,
Yeah.
which are not this.
This is,
yeah.
yeah, it's a different brand.
That's the mistake.
Yeah. That is like, that was AP.
AP.
ASUS is Billy Bobby.
Yeah.
Billy Bobby!
Oh, you made.
I miss AP.
I miss Billy Bobby.
And Billy Bobby.
I miss Bam 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 Bam.
I'm okay with doing without the Twitch chat when that happened, when that
No,
the
that
commercial
was
was on.
fun.
It's like all these.
Okay, you started.
You just ruined the Twitch chat
just-
now.
Sorry.
I was having a
it's
good
back.
time checking Twitch chat here while you guys are talking, and now you can ruin it, Cheever. This is gonna be horrible.
I didn't
In
actually
20
think I
seconds,
did.
I can't even look to this chat.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's okay because you don't have to look at the chat. What a perfect segue you created for me because the draft is continuing. We are back in the game. The players are having their connection reinstalled, and is it?
What are you doing,
What are you
Bruno?
doing?
I'm just. There you go.
We're going into the draft. Let's go into the draft. We'll leave the panel and we'll allow you to your privacy.
All right. Thank you very much.
This is like the most public privacy I've ever experienced. It's like my voice is heard
Yeah.
by thousands.
Yeah. Actually thousands. And you have like 3 cameras pointing at you even though you're not doing anything.
Literally thousands.
Okay, so the draft is now being recreated as VP.Polar had some issues and disconnected during the draft. So we're still not catching up completely, but the Respect Witch Doctor ban is there again.
How's that a respect Witch Doctor ban?
It's Respect because he was carrying. Didn't you see last game? You didn't see last game.
I saw last game.
What?
In
How
the
can you ask?
Corner of my.
How can you ask how it's a Respect Witch Doctor? Do you see his stats? Do you see what he did that
Okay.
game?
I did not watch the game.
Yeah, okay. Busted. He was 13, 4, and 14 or something. He was carrying.
All right.
He had the best stats in the entire game.
All right. Okay.
So it's Respect. This time. It's okay. You're still allowed to talk, Lumi.
Oh, I see. I see. I was just lost deep in thought, looking at this fourth man coming out from VP. It's an Emperor Spirit.
Yeah. Now we're actually caught up and
Okay.
beyond where we were. Oh, that's an interesting pickup here.
Especially into Skywrath Mage and Centaur. I guess like, you know when you pick a hero, some heroes like their ultimate is their identity, right?
Yeah.
For example, like when I used to see a lot of Enigma, it's like when Enigma's pick, I was like, oh, black hole. I automatically think about that, but really, it's not really about the black hole. Like it's for me at least, Enigma's more about the pushing, his ability to jungle very quickly, his ability to get a mech for the team. Like I see that as more important than, obviously he does Black Hole too.
I thought it's more about the Duke Nukem voice actor.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But in the case of Bane, like the immediate jerk knee response was like, oh, it's a Fiend script. And then you get easily canceled by Skywrath and Centaur. But I see him more as like the Nightmare setup.
I agree.
Nightmare counter gank.
It's more about that, and now even the enemy picking a Viper.
Yeah, Enfeeble's pretty good against Viper as well. So.
It's really good, and you also have the Nightmare along with Static Link combo. Oh, it's the tree and
the
Bane.
scumbag team. I love this.
This is the good old Goblack strat, drafting into some old roots here.
I mean, but this is not FNG, right? FNG is like Venge Puck, right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Where's the Venge?
Normally, I don't think we will see a Venge this game, my friend.
No.
But we're still looking towards. Do you think that they will grab an offlaner, or do you think they will grab a carry? I mean,
I think Faces is the offlaner.
Yeah.
Because in between the the PMS, the jump, you have backtrack, and then you have the tree and armor.
I said it before as well that I think he's a very, very hard to kill offlaner. Actually, I think he's the hardest to kill offlaner in the game, even harder than Tide. Because Tide can walk out of position and die just like any other hero, but Void, walk out of position, you can still jump away, and you're so tanky that you can survive most things.
Yep.
And you can always pray to the RNG gods, if nothing else.
How is Max Void? I haven't seen him play that hero for a while.
Have not either, to be honest. I mean, it's only been Centaur every single game, so...
Sometimes Doom.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes
okay, that's true. That's true. But DK Phobos plays such a good puck that it's hard to want to give away, even though Mag's puck is also very good. DK Phobos has really shown us that he's so very talented at it.
So it almost feels like that 4AFC has to pick up some tower pushing capability. It's like this is always the thing that I think about when they pick.
That's true, because that's
especially
where
now with their Treant Protector.
Yeah.
Like, are you ever going to get any towers if you don't just 5-man Deathball?
It's the full commitment push, right? You need to bring down a tower, else it's going to always heal up.
Right.
So you want something that can keep going and...
Keep going, or at least have so much burst that you could take a tower down very quickly. They're going to go with Dusa themselves. Take the game late, perhaps? Or maybe... according to Waga, finish the game in
so we're looking at a early game finish here, 15-minute strat, presumably from the Finstack. Nah, obviously, I'm not a big fan though, because again, I feel that Finstack do this quite a lot, where they pick heroes who are similar in a regard. I'm not gonna say that Viper and Dusa are obviously similar, but they are heroes who walk in and just punch.
Sort of do the same thing.
Sort of similar. And that's what happened yesterday with their draft, where they got their Bristleback along with Lycan, along with Viper in the same draft.
And I mean, today they had the Slark LC, kind of doing the same thing.
Exactly. And of course they won the Slark LC game, but it wasn't easy.
Was not convincing.
Had to fight really hard about it. So we'll see what FNG wants to do against this now. Banning out Jerax Rubik, of course.
Makes sense.
Did ban out the Sanking as well. So ES is available this time. Jerax has still not picked up his own hero.
I'm not sure whether... I mean, definitely it's a respect ban, but look at the ults you can steal. Fiend's Grip, Overgrowth, Chrono, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of big spells. And even if you don't steal the biggest spells, Virtus.Pro don't really want to play against a Rubik.
Yep.
So I think ES is going to be just fine, though. This is what the Finstack was talking about. You can't really ban all our heroes, even though it's a fairly limited pool and you know what we're gonna do. So ES Skywrath would be a really strong combination, or we'll see if Jerax brings something new. First, we're gonna have to see what FNG wants to draft up. What do you think? Because I'm looking at it and saying this should be a carry last pick, but it doesn't really have to be a hard-hitting carry.
It does not.
So Necro?
Necro will be really good against Dusa, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Morphling as well. Illidan plays it really well. And you can't forget about the AM, right? Especially against the Dusa.
True. I don't know about the Morphling. AM could be decent, I guess. But
what's wrong with the Morphling?
The thing is, Morphling in this game, I feel that Virtus.Pro find themselves in the same spot, having too many just right-clicker heroes or farmer heroes that need so much farm. If you pick a Necrophos, he doesn't need to take that much of the farm, and you have enough heroes to set up for him. So you should be able to just follow up ulti when Faceless Void goes on someone, And if you can ever close the distance to Dusa, you might be able to bring her down. Obviously, a lot of damage is gonna need to be dealt, and they don't really have burst damage.
No, not really. I mean, if you're looking to Bane as your best burst damage healer, then you're...
Also, just want to do a disclaimer here. This
Yeah.
is not a game to go for the build that I like on Dusa. Because there's 3 things that go through BKB already.
Yes.
And even Razor goes kind of through BKB because he doesn't care. His ulti, etc. So this is definitely not the right
This
team
is
for
a
the
fairly
deck.
decent, good, like, Lincoln scheme.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Bane mostly for it.
Manta style as well, to be honest.
OD. You know, OD Aghanims, all your manas
Yeah,
are gone.
yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
OD gonna have your mana?
Yeah. So, is it a safe lane OD, or is it a mid OD, a safe lane Razor? Probably mid OD.
It could be a lot of things. You can even try lane the Razor in this game if you want to be honest. And just like solo safe lane the Faceless Void, go aggressive with your Razor tri lane if you want to.
Going aggressive with the Treant, I mean, he does have a lot of punch, which makes it pretty good.
If you ever Nightmare someone though, like you can just
Oh, the
static link.
Nightmare Link, Leech Seed, give him the right clicks.
Yeah, give them click and then chase them down.
Okay.
So it's a fairly decent combo. You can also play it more safe though. I think one thing that Goblak said back when I talked to him a lot about why he drafted so much Treant back in the days was that Treant needs to jungle.
Yes.
He really does. He needs to do the
experience.
pulls, get the levels up, because you can do so much just living armoring people from your own jungle, so you don't really need to put yourself at harm's way. And people don't know when you're gonna gank as well if you just walk in with your ulti while in Nature's Skies, and it's gonna be the Earth Shaker. They were thinking about it for a while, but maybe more thinking about their lanes than the pickup really. Seems
Sure.
like an obvious pick.
I mean, you could say that you can't really ban out 4AC support, for example, in this case, but knowing what support your enemy is going to pick is already a big,
Yeah.
kind of big advantage, right?
Yeah, it's nice to know, I guess.
Like, for example, if you know that's going to be a really aggressive ganking support, maybe OD mid might be less of a pick.
But when it comes down to a Medusa in your team, wouldn't you rather want to have Rubik, or wouldn't you rather want to have ES than Rubik anyway?
Sure, definitely, definitely.
So, because the Fissure is so valuable to protect a hero like Medusa, especially against the Chronosphere, you can make some big play Fissures against that. Even if the Void is already up and hitting a hero, you can Fissure and push him away so he has to run around the Fissure. Assuming he has already used Time Walk. You see FNG on camera. And of course, before a game starts, this is something that just kind of gives some insight to viewers, of course. You have to really have a plan where you want to go and what you want to do in the first 10 minutes and talk through this in depth before the game actually starts. Because else, when you spawn, this is something Aoi mentioned in his recent videos as well. When you spawn, you want to buy items and immediately run out because you know what
And
your
they run
duty
very
is.
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting for FC to try to ward off that pull camp because of what you said earlier. Like, you need to pull a Treant.
They're going to do a standard one that everyone is using in this tournament, to be honest.
Yes.
Look at the bottom right one.
But the thing is, like, I'm surprised that there is no challenge from VP.Polar. There are boots from FNG, so he could have lumbered down there as well. Is it going to be the offensive trialing that you suggested?
I don't think so. Or is it? Maybe. I mean, they could just be mobile as well. But they show off the OD on bottom there, walking out.
And the fact
Hilden.
that he has a ward, he's going to use it,
Oh, and
run
then
back
walk
to the
down.
war spot. Yeah, they know that there is a ward. Probably guess it.
Already a fairly big win, I would say, just knowing where one of the enemy's wards are. Because now when you rotate, you can just avoid taking that path. And Jarek's checking some settings. Just gonna take it easy. Of course, each player has their own computer, so they will have the same settings pretty much, but making sure of something. So if they go aggressive Trident here, how do you think it would fare against the Skywrath and, of course, the Medusa on top lane, and ES is mobile?
Pretty poorly, I would have to say. I mean, obviously you get to pull that camp to the left to get a little bit of experience, but
I think they could do something, though. They can just enfeeble the Dusa and then last it against it with Void. Because Void already has 13 damage on top of Dusa. If you enfeeble her as well, she's down to 20 damage.
that's true.
It's extremely hard to last hit.
It's not that they can't last it and farm in the lane, more so that your supports can't get levels. So that's why I talked about the pull camp. Like, you could pull and get some experience
Yeah.
there, but you really need your tree to get to level 3 at the very least. And obviously Bane, you want him to get 6. So
that is normally the weakness that you pointed out there when you go aggressive tri lane.
yeah.
That your supports will suffer. Maybe your carry is gonna do well. Oh, it's a switcheroo. So they want to put the Dusa against the OD on bottom. And
That sounds like suicidal.
yeah, this seems... Matumba Man is crazy though. I mean, he doesn't really care that much. I think Boogie's gonna switch as well. Because Skywrath kind of has to go down and help, right? You
Yeah.
can't just throw your Medusa against an OD and say that this is fine, you know, this is what we wanted.
I mean, but, you know, Earthshaker making gank there, a fissure could be First Blood. But it's a pretty hard block as well. No, actually, we have Boogie making the rotation, as well as Jirax starting to get there as well.
Yeah, so Tricore going down bottom.
No, it's
Haste.
2-1-2. No, okay, never mind. Haste just gets picked up, and maybe it looks like Tree's going to walk mid and start punching some people.
Yeah, maybe. It would be nice if he just goes in and punches the Viper a little bit, because that could totally win the mid lane. We've seen that happen before.
Yep.
On the bottom here, he's going to get scouted out by the Dire Ward, the tree. Going for the pull. He's so fast. Just looks amazingly fast at tree and
Yep.
the walk animations.
A little bit of nice recovery pull.
The return level 1 return first on Trixie on the safe lane. That's when you know you're not aiming to have a fun time. It's more like, please don't make it that bad.
I mean, it mostly makes Little's harass, like, you know, pretty useless.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, you're harassing back without even need to hit him.
Yeah, that's true. So the pull really helped a lot there, and Ilden so good at farming. I mean, he secured all those last hits under a tower without any problems. So 7 last hits on OD already. And I'm kind of not sure about how the lanes are going to work out here for Finstack, because offlane Dusa, as he said, sounds like suicide, but he's going to have a lot of creeps that he can farm on the tower himself now.
I mean, normally when the wave is pushing out like that, the offlane is very, very happy, but I feel like OD could do decently. Like, you generally want to be sort of close to steal mana anyways, or steal in anyways. So,
Yeah, I think he can do pretty well in this lane, mostly because the tree is helping him out as
Right.
well. He has the tree and armor every now and then, and I think he's going to be fairly fine. Jirax is just running around, thinking about going up on top, but Centaur in the end doing, you know, not having the best of times, obviously, but he's doing all right in terms of not losing too much HP. And mid lane, we haven't really mentioned it, but Viper against Razor is a very even matchup. So it kind of comes down to play.
Right.
Viper 9 and 8 in last hits and 5 and 3 on Razor. So Viper is getting the upper hand a little bit here. And I think Valix has played this matchup many times. Bottom, Boogie gets caught out.
huh. I wouldn't expect that's where the first blood came in, but obviously an Astro into a Leech Seed is going to get the kill. Kind
Yeah.
of a sloppy play from 4AFC, because the way that I expected the laning stage to go is 0-0 for like 8 minutes. Like, VP.Polar is looking to be very defensive.
That's Lumi's dream right there, people.
I mean, you have a Treant, right? So you don't expect a lot of kills to be happening unless you overcommit and make a mistake, and that's kind of what we saw in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and Matumba Man is just like, okay, my support is bad, I'm gonna go top.
Yeah.
I will farm. You know, this isn't working out. And I think that's a good call. You need to switch at this point, because if you give away a kill like this towards the Treant Protector or towards anyone on that safe lane, the lane balance changes, and now even mana boots at 3.5 minutes on the Treant.
But here's the thing, though. Like, now that you made the lane exchange, 4FC has automatically won 2 lanes. The TP gold costs 200, as well as the fact that Centaur is very under level. Now that frees up the tree to do whatever he wants to do. So I really think that 4FC is really, really in trouble, and we're only 4 minutes in the game.
Yeah. You mean that Polar won 2 lanes on?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Polar won 2 lanes.
I was like, how are Finstack winning this? But
Yeah.
I was waiting for some Sun Tzu wisdom right there.
Yeah, Sun Tzu's just at the wrong team name.
Okay.
Happens sometimes.
Happens. So Invisible Tree gonna walk around, though it is known by the Finstack. So
It is known.
It is known. Valix shouldn't be too far out of position. As I say that, he starts running towards the high ground. And of course, the Bane is running around the top rune. Jerax just...
Little's baiting. You know, they think they're getting an easy Bane kill, but there is a tree lumbering about.
But yeah, I don't think they are gonna go out of position this time, knowing this Invis is there. So bottom lane, OD is just gonna be really happy going up against the Centaur now after having an easy time in the beginning as well.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the OD go for Midas top lane. Do they know about this? Sitting very tight together, so very hard to kill any one of them.
Oh.
Timberman?
At least he's going to open things up here, and the Nightmare is going to prevent Jerax dropping a Fissure. It's a good amount of harass, and since they have the Arcane Boots, it's like, yeah, you know what, we'll trade mana. Fissure's going to come through against Little. Little's on cooldown with this healing spell, but he's got living armor, so no dive Reno. They're going to go right on Bogey, and now going back to Dusa, Leech Seed's going to be back on. There's a mana shield, but it's not very effective at level 1. The bash and one last hit's going to get the kill. The second Nightmare goes off. The Nightmare gets Toggle, but there is no mana on Boogie. No bash luck just yet. It's going to make more dive.
The Orb of Venom on Faceless Void doing a lot of work, to be honest, as well, when they dive there. And the bash proc was so needed. Level 1 bash paying dividends.
Yeah. I gotta say, Treant as well as Bane is probably like the strongest, some of the strongest, tankiest support heroes.
Yeah, and casual suicide to the stack of creeps. Actually, bottom, the OD gets a solo kill with his ulti.
Yeah.
Very nice play there.
Trixie probably had no in.
This is a casual Trixie feed, and Skywrath says, hey, why not? I'll just die to the neutrals as well. If you're confused by this, it's just a faster way to get back to base. If you're low level, it's a nice little thing to do.
Well, spend all your unreliable gold.
Nah, just die.
Well, that would be suboptimal. Just dying suboptimal.
Bottom lane, though, Trixie is going to struggle to get anything here as Illidan is really taking control of the lane. Derek finds a nice little haste rune here as he runs away from Mag.
So OD to me is one of those heroes that a lot of players have disagreement about, like when to take your ultimate. Obviously, we saw the ultimate being effective here, but
situational, I say.
So against low-int opponents, is that the situation? Like, what exactly is the situation where you take your ultimate?
The situation is that sometimes you're not going to be spamming your Astral Imprisonment that much anyway, because the enemy is sitting back too far. But in this case, he was against the dual lane at first, so he was spamming a lot. And then he realized, I'm going to be solo laning against the Centaur from now on.
Right.
So it's pretty fair to assume I can run up and just pull him down. I have 15 movement speed on top of him. So then I think it's fine. But some people also like the Arcane Orb early top. The dive in, the Chronosphere and the Leech Seed, along with Orb of Venom. Orb of Venom deeps.
She walks in, gets stunned, and then punches him. No problem.
Yeah.
I mean, this lane is just really killing for ASC. What is the recovery from the Finstack?
Well, Finstack are just hoping for late game, right? There's nothing else. The recovery is just to try and get level 6 on Centaur and then play aggressively, knowing the Stampede can always bail them out.
But here's the thing, though. Like, even when you're just hoping for a late game, there's a stage of game where you say, all right, this is our timing. This is what we need to do, right?
Yeah.
Normally, you look towards your Centaur getting a blink because that's a kind of big, like a peak of power. But he's not getting anything on this bottom lane. He doesn't even have Tranquils. We're 8 minutes in.
Yeah. I think that Finstack are in a heavy situation. And it's as we have said, in the games that they have lost, it's been because they don't have the comeback mechanics in their hero combination. And this one, well, it's greedy, you know, having Viper and Dusa in the same lineup. Because Viper, if he doesn't win his lane hard enough, naturally he has been playing pretty well, but it is an even matchup after all. And if you don't win your lane hard enough, you don't do that much.
Yeah,
Dusa was struggling.
He's up 6 CS and 3-9, but that's not a win, you know, that's just like a slight victory, whatever. So I don't think 4FC has what it takes to, like, for example, start finding some tower up behind a mech. That feels like it plays into the Chronosphere too much.
Yeah. Let's see the awareness on Illidan Stormrage here on bottom. Surely he knows about this gank.
Surely Finette is no joke.
Yeah. And he's just sitting very far back. He knows for sure that the gank is here. Jerax just hiding in the trees now. And it becomes pretty obvious when you don't find any hero on the top lane. So Polar just playing it to the information that they have. They even have the Treant armor available if they somehow close distance to the OD, and TPs are available. Midas finished up on OD. Midas is also going to be the goal for the Faceless Void offlane.
Yeah. I mean, when both the offlane and safe lane feel safe enough to just go double Midas, you know the enemy draft is not being able to do what it wants to do.
Yeah. First little bit of action for a long time. Well, this is what you were expecting, though. Really static lanes and, well, maybe
I wasn't expecting the 5-1 scoreline, though.
No.
I was expecting 0-0 up to
Yeah,
this
you were
point.
expecting this type of play that we're seeing right now, because none of the teams can turn up the heat that much right now, but I think Polar are about to hit a power peak much sooner than Finstack. And even though they don't have maybe the super late game on Adusa, they still have the mana burn from OD ulti later on, which could completely counter them.
Yeah, I actually think the mana burn takes away what 4AFC has of a late game plan, which is the Adusa.
Question though, mana burn applied before or after the damage from Sanity Eclipse?
I mean, obviously you burn one, you burn more with one than the other, but does it really matter? Like, you can't keep in mind that Bane's Fiend Script also mana burns.
It's a pretty big difference. If you reduce the mana pool by 75% and then deal the damage
versus dealing the damage and then mana burning.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Stampede's going to get used. They're going to throw everything, but keep in mind that there is that, you know, living armor.
Yeah, he's going to stay alive for a while here, but
Silence.
yeah, with the silence.
You could Nightmare him as well, but no, he's going to Nightmare the Bane instead. In fact, it's going to get
ulti.
turned. Oh my god, the ulti just blows up Boogie. They're now going to go on Jerax. And of course, there's a Leechy giving Trina a little bit of heal.
Yeah,
Viper's
they
going to
brought
come
down
through
Viper,
again.
so I think the OD is going to go down here no matter what.
Living
because
armor?
of the Viper.
No. Still on cooldown.
And TP out from Lil Hardy. No one can really cancel this one. But meanwhile, in mid lane, Mag is just saying, okay, you left mid, I'm going to pressure you.
Yep.
And who's going to react to this one? So they're sending in Jerax to mid to defend, but at the same time trying to be aggressive on bottom. They did get the OD, but it's barely a win, I'm going to say. It's a 1-1 trade, and you brought down people to bottom, while there's free farm for Void, free farm for Mag. Dusa was farming some during this time, but not as fast as Void.
Does Void have a higher net worth than Dusa? Yeah,
He should definitely have a higher net worth. Yeah, he has a Midas. I mean, he's 1,200 gold on top of her.
Not looking good. I think we might need to see a fighting Dusa build.
Another point is that these aggressive movements and rotations from Finstack has forced, you know, Skywrath. He doesn't even have boots yet. They're pretty underfarmed on their supports. Sure, you have mana boots finished up on ES, but is he gonna get a blink anytime soon in this game?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Might start to actually stack for Jerax and have him echo some camps.
Maybe, but then again, Trixie also wants his blink dagger because they need something that works defensively when VP.Polar start playing their aggression game.
I guess the big win was Trixie was getting some gold, and he's now going into the jungle, double edging some creeps, and almost here to the blink.
Yeah, he's closing up on it, so that's why I think it's better to give the gold to him than giving it to Jerax. Even if you give a big stack to Jerax, you don't go from 0 to blink dagger.
He's still quite far.
So it's better to give it to someone that's like 1,000 golds and try and get them towards the full blink. In general, I think that's a way you should approach things in competitive Dota. If someone is close to an item, better give him the stuff than giving your carry. Like, even if your support is very close to finishing up a key item,
I'm actually a big proponent, like, if you have a couple of heroes crowding around tier 1 tower that you're about to last it, if like a support's about to finish your mech, you know, you give him the last it.
Yeah. Well, it's about the value of an item.
Yeah.
Like, if the mech is important to you and you're gonna use it very shortly, then that's the importance. And the Mana Snake actually doing a lot here from Mantumba Man, dealing quite a bit of damage to DK Phobos, who just happened to stay too close to it.
Yeah. But I think VP.Polar is in a very comfortable position.
Yeah.
Taking the game slow. And OD starts with Staff of Wizardry. Builds into like 6 items, so we'll just kind of leave it there. I think all of the items, apart from Dagon, works very well. But it seems to be a 4-staff since he has the Ring of Regen, although he has had that Ring of Regen for a while.
Yeah, I mean, 4-staff is a very key item, I would say, on OD, especially when you're playing against Fisher and Stampede, no less. When people are rushing at you, pretty convenient to have a 4-staff.
I mean, Yules is not bad as well. Just for the movement speed, the fact that you could, in between Astral, yourself, Yules, your teammates, Nightmare, you could like kind of toggle your aggro quite a bit.
It's decent, but
4-staff's probably better.
Yeah, 4-staff is the best, I would say, first. And of course, getting the Midas first was even better. Mid
lane?
Mag getting initiated upon, but Fisher not completely blocking up. A lot of TPs forced though. Maybe they just want to go and push mid now, but not sure about this decision from
They don't have
Polar.
a mech or anything on Mag, so...
Yeah, this is not a key timing to push, and if they go for it, I think they might get punished because there's a mech on Valix. So even though you have Dusa farming up right now, and she's up to 78 CS, which is not bad, second highest CS after all. Given his early game, this is a great CS score. I don't think it's that good of a feeling for Finstack, just farming now.
Yeah. I mean, they're farming, and honestly, the only way for them to kind of extend and come back in the game is farming.
Yeah.
So it's a bad situation, but it's a situation they have to bear with. They don't have a plan B. You can't sneak a Roche, you can't 5-mana tower. So just keep farming and hope for the best.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So, meanwhile on Polar though, you have to be pretty comfortable with this scenario. Void is farming so much on the offlane, no less.
Yep.
Mid, Razor has been farming a lot, and he's even rushing into jungle and just clearing it using his ulti even. And of course, OD, the biggest free farmer in the entire game right now. But what I'm looking for is when is Bane gonna have his 6 and when are Polar gonna go for pressuring towers. The Treant is 1,450 gold right now, so maybe he will have his...
Blink, I guess?
On the Treant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume, but he could even be the mech builder in this game.
Sure. I mean, mana is going to be an issue. He's got Arcane, so maybe not.
He has mana boots, and that also relieves the mech responsibility from Razor and OD. That's how I see it. Mech is like a responsibility. Someone in your team kind of has to build it.
We've been seeing a lot of games where the mech is not even purchased.
I think that's sometimes it's okay, but a lot of the times it's a mistake. Mech is very, very strong. And it helps you a lot, both defending your towers and pressuring the enemy towers.
Sure.
So
but looks like we're not going to see a mech from the Razor, so there's a high likelihood.
Counting the total denies on the side of VP.Polar in this game, there are a lot of denies. What are they up to? That's over 100 denies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, if you put it in perspective of the goal that 4FC will never see again, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's, I mean, 100 denies, that's 5,000 gold, right?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
So, Viper goes into a mech. What do you think about this? Or sorry, Viper goes into a Midas.
Oh,
I actually like this quite a bit.
The Midas post-mech?
Yeah.
He realizes the game is very static, and it's going to keep being this way.
Yeah, looks like
It's
we
a
might see
strategic
engagement
reason.
up top here. DK Phobos gets blown up. No amount of living armor will save him through this. Even the Echo Slam for good measure.
Jarek's just going with the "it's mine"
I mean,
Slam.
the silence was about to end.
Yeah.
So a jump might have came out, but...
Yeah, that's true. Pressure is going to be on both the tier 1s from these teams now. I think Polar can maybe defend the top one, because they are moving there with Razor. He has a haste rune that's going to last for a long time. They can definitely defend this one.
The defensive, let's get out Fissure.
Yeah. So after all, they got a kill, but they also lost the 1-for-0 tower trade.
Yep.
Oh,
They might lose mid. And this is what Bane is so good at. Like, you TP in first, and you could disable a hero for such a long time. But looks like TP got cancelled. And Little's going to be backing off instead.
Yeah, TP got cancelled both sides.
Yeah.
Jarek's was thinking about TPing as well, or he started channeling it, but also canceled when he realized that Viper seemed to be safe. So both teams fighting a little bit, but it is going to be an AXOD looking over to this early point booster.
I like it.
Yeah, getting it early is also not a bad idea, because that will allow you to fight against Dusa. And I'm going to need a mechanic check on whether or not it's applied before or after the mana reduction.
Because we know the tooltip doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
In fact, does let's say anything useful ever?
Maybe I can check it in the combat log when he uses his ulti next time.
Sure.
When he gets the Aghanims. We'll see.
Regardless, it will be very effective against Dusa.
Yes.
That's something we could agree upon.
Yes, no matter which. So, some hitting and poking on the mid lane, but I don't think Finstack wants to commit and take a fight against it. It's more like try and shoo them away from mid lane.
I mean, actually, as we see a Stampede, but right into an Overgrowth. Get back, boys. And they're actually going to grip this. Immediately canceled by Trixie. Little expected a lot more from his ult. But here comes Shirley. Blows up Boogie. And Earthshaker's quite low. He drops off the Fissure. Gets blown up here as
Top lane
well.
is a solo kill as well. There's nothing Matumba Man can do. He has been hitting on him so long. DK Phobos just went on him for like 25 seconds. I was watching that while you were covering the mid fight. And that was very confident. At first, I thought, he can't kill him if he doesn't get a TP here. But just punching away slowly, it worked.
Yeah, they're going to get a tier 1 mid, possibly the tier 1 top as well if they all decide to rotate. But if not, Void's going to continue to beat away.
Yeah. And Void is going for the Manta style Diffusal Blade build.
I love this.
This is just VP.Polar adjusting their item builds and customizing the item builds towards what they're playing at.
I mean, we saw the all-mask strat earlier, the multiple silence. This is the all-mana burn strat.
Oh, yeah.
I guess there is no anti-mage or line here, but you know.
And when you have your Manta style and Diffusal Blades, if you chrono someone and Manta style, you burn a lot of mana.
You hit like a
during that
chicken.
time. Well,
You don't do any damage.
pretty agile chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But against Dusa, like your hits count as twice as much, you know?
Exactly, for that specific scenario.
Right.
And it can also be decent if you're going on someone like Earthshaker.
Sure.
Just focusing him down with your mana burn also deals decent damage. And with the new change to Diffusal Blade being a little bit less costly in the recipe, the agility you get from upgrading your Diffusal Blade early might want you I can't talk anymore. Might want to make you do that earlier.
Might induce you into upgrading it.
Yes, exactly. It's been long days here at Dreamleague.
We got 3 more games after this one.
It's fine.
Yeah. Shirley does have enough gold to upgrade his
The axe.
Aghanims.
He is looking very scary in this game. And how are we looking at the golden experience graph right now, actually? Over to gold, almost 10k lead and 7.5-ish in the experience graph. Bottom, are they going to get him? Diving in.
She blow everything on him. No chance to use any item. The Nightmare might have actually tried to go on the Bane.
Yeah, I think he tried to get him.
Yeah, tried to go on the OD, but they're going to get, you know, a Centaur kill. But if you're 4FC, you're very happy making that trade.
Yeah, that's a really good, you know, it's a little dent. At least he bought items before he died, so didn't lose anything. It's his reliable gold that he kept there. And no tower has gone down against this Treant yet, by the way. This is why,
Yeah. I mean,
this is why
4FC
you say against something like a Treant, you want to take the towers, not harass them. And it's a Midas Treant.
I like it. I mean, FNG says late game, and into late game they'll go.
Oh, he wants the tower to live.
Yeah, and it will live.
FNG.
Might even overgrowth this.
Yeah, I would definitely stop
At least
him.
deny.
No,
Oh.
FNG.
I mean, overgrowth doesn't have too much of a cooldown, so.
Yeah, but would he actually have saved it? If no one
No,
else
he would have
comes up
denied it.
Yeah.
Tried to.
True. FNG holding on to the ulti at least. Yeah, it's just 70 seconds. I think he probably should have thrown it out there, but in the end, nice play by Matumba Man getting the last hit on that one.
Actually, though, if they just go up to Matumba Man right now with overgrowth and the Sanity's Eclipse, that's a kill, right? Like, he probably doesn't even have mana for his Stone Gaze.
So that's why Shirley is trying to hide in the
Yeah.
nighttime from the creeps here.
And
Now
then
he
he's
walks up,
like, you know
though.
what, I'll just take creeps.
Yeah, it's like, that gold looks delicious, Treant. Let me have it.
Maybe he'll do it next wave. Who knows? Smoke gang coming on the bottom lane for 4FC, but they're not going to find anybody. Maybe somebody that's taking a rune. They see Mag rotating that way, but there is a Black King bar.
Yeah, they
and they
do see him.
They have to chain stun him before he activates a BKB. Here comes a
do
Stampede
it, though.
Fissure. Everything being thrown, and they do get the
Again.
successful kills.
Again, the nightmare onto a centaur. It's
Yep.
like, this could have been you, Razor. I think he was dead no matter what. So, nice pickoffs by Finstack, but they are committing a lot of heroes to moving like this. Have you seen this Bane's item, by the way?
Yeah, I love it. It's Hood.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
Hood
the
Bane.
only thing better than this is a Midas. But,
the only
but
thing.
Hood into Pipe, I mean, if you look at the way that 4FC is trying to get these kills, they are trying to just burst anybody down, right? It's basically a mech that persists for everybody else, because the way that 4FC wants to kill somebody is throw all their damage on one person. And you can mech for that person, but all of the 4 other heroes don't get too much benefit. But the Pipe will kind of last for the other 4,
So smart.
making it much more useful than a mech against a very magically bursty team.
Yeah. And a lot of people would argue that Pipe is worth buying whenever there's so much AoE magic damage. And you're playing against an Earth Shaker, Medusa, and Centaur. There's quite a lot. And then you have Skywrath, of course, who's going to single target mostly, but his damage will be there and it will be magic.
Just an update for you guys. Tinker has won 2-0 against MVP Phoenix. That just finished up on the B stream.
I think that was what a lot of people expected to happen as well when Team Tinker would play their first game.
When I watched the first game, it was a pretty convincing victory.
Yeah.
Somehow Heen had a sniper, but there was a storm on the other side, and
Oh, God.
we played enough pub games to know how that one went.
We know. The pub experience tells us that's not a pretty matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now, there's just a lot of farming going down. Shirley is playing pretty aggressively here on top lane, even going up and imprisoning Valix against Valix and Trixie and Boogie being around. But it works. I guess they were scared of him having backup behind him, but it's actually a gank towards the mid lane. So that was a little bit the OD faking. He had backup behind him,
Yep.
but it turns out they were mid with a smoke. And that's a big thing. When you're smoking, trying to pretend you have backup, right?
Yeah.
Worked out pretty well for
I
him
mean,
this time.
I guess Jurex relied the fact that he has a lot of vision around him. He's like, you know what, I'm safe. but smoke is kind of the trump card.
It is.
How much do you feel this is an outdraft against 4AFC?
I feel Finstack might have outdrafted themselves.
Okay. With the Dusa.
I just don't see how this is your ideal protect Dusa strategy. And also, I'm not sure about drafting Dusa into Void. I think Void is a pretty decent hero against Dusa because it's so easy to just bubble him. And that's often the problem when you turn into late game. How are you going to hold down the Dusa? What are you going to do against her?
I'm surprised that Jirax has saved the last pick for his own hero. And sure, he's a very impactful player, but I think it's protecting the last pick, especially...
Would almost prefer picking himself sooner since the enemy
Yes,
ban him
exactly.
his heroes so much.
Exactly. But you know, he's a drafter.
Yeah.
Stampede's going to be used, but Trixie immediately get cancelled. But back in the mid lane, they do blow him up. Top, though, they are going to get a Centaur kill, I think. Shirley could use his ult and get the kill for sure.
He's dead.
But
that was a really, really nice jump in by ES and ulting immediately there. Because Void was in animation. He was full ballerina, and then the Echo Slam just stopped him mid-animation.
Mag actually pops a BKB. The pipe gets activated as well. It's a straight-up TP out. Pretty expensive TP. And they're going to get a T1 tower out of this.
Oh, there's a Blink Treant behind them, but he doesn't have his ulti anymore, so he's more just looking at this tower and saying,
Shirley's coming in. This
Shirley is here, boys.
All right, this could be pretty ugly. They're going to try to go on Valix, but force that back out here from Shirley. They're going to try to protect that T1. There's a... Okay, no. Treant armor is going to come in. Stone Gaze, though, and a silence against Shirley. Shirley has already used the Force Staff. He's actually facing towards it, and they're going to lose one kill. Mag's going to deny the tower, but he's going to die as well. Nightmare gets activated. He does not have BKB anymore. And Matumba Man and Valix get to clean up a couple kills. I think VP.Polar wanted to make a very cute play, right? You make the tree and blink in from behind, you drop a big Sanity's Eclipse, and then you just win the fight. But really underestimated what 4ASC could do.
If they wanted to defend that, I think OD had to throw his ulti sooner, because he walked so close and put himself at harm's way without throwing out the ulti. And when you have Axe, you have a pretty long cast range as well. It increases by 100, right? So I think he just needed to throw it to make the enemy back if he wants to protect the tower. But he wanted to use it with combination of Void jumping in to actually get a kill. Because he wouldn't have killed anything. But.
And suddenly that's a lot of going towards Tusa. Like, her net worth has been pretty terrible, but now she's gonna almost...
She has the Manta style.
Oh, the whole thing, nice.
Yeah, she has the full thing.
So that's actually pretty important, especially against the Treant ultimate.
Yes, that is true. That is true. A way to get out of it. And also, I would say that when you have a Manta style, you're just a little bit more annoying for a hero like Bane. The Enfeeble does persist even through Manta styles, but it's harder for Bane to walk in and target something when there are illusions punching him already when he walks close.
Well, this is probably one of the worst Manta style games because of the many ways that they could like kill the illusion. Like the Arcane Orb just kills it in one shot. The Sanity Eclipse will allow you to find out which one's the real one. And then there's the persisting Enfeeble, like you said. So it's like a stat item basically.
Yeah.
That gives you some utility against Overgrowth.
That's how most people use it though, and also as the movement speed item to farm faster.
Yeah, it's a farming item.
So it works out. And later on in the game, the illusions finally become pretty tanky, and OD doesn't want to waste his time right-clicking illusions anyway, because he will probably be at the point where he wants to hex one and click them down, and really doesn't have time for illusions.
Are they going to try to trade tier 2? I feel like VP.Polar is too far ahead.
Jumping mid though. Oh, the Chrono misses! Trixie with the fast fingers blinking out from that one.
The Lamping.
The Lamping.
I mean, I think right now VP.Polar should be far more ahead to give freebie trades like these. They're going to use the Glyph to defend their own tier 2. Jirax is top, but this tier 2 is much, much healthier. And
yeah, are they going to mass TP right now? They will go.
Vigil's gonna clip here on Shirley. Shirley's gonna have to... Well, Overgrowth's gonna come through. There's a Sanity's clip. No mana, but there's no follow-up. And now FNG's gonna get blown up. Trixie's gonna land the double edge. There's no Chrono from DK Phobos. This is a very terrible fight for VP.Polar. Mag joining in with this BKB. But right now, nobody right-clicking on Matumba. Little trying to TP out. He's not gonna make it home. Blink and Chant Totem a little bit too slow. 4ASC winning the fights that I did not expect they could possibly win.
Yeah, that was That was a very impressive team fight that they took just there. And for ASC, now in a great spot to keep farming up. And if they do get some team fight wins like this, they also held their own tower. They could really pull ahead. And
Look at the go graph. It's crossing 0 right now.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that a lot of this is DK Phobos just not shining with his Void, because he farmed so much, but missing that Void ulti on the mid lane and not really being part of top push where his team dies.
I think it's a team
had
decision.
the biggest impact. Of course it is, but it's the Void not shining.
I think it's a mistake. In Chrono, like, you know, that could happen. I think mechanical mistake, you can't blame him on too much. But when your Void misses a Chrono mid, I don't think you should go for a tower trade, especially when you push slower, because we saw what happened bottom. You lost the tier 2 tower, 4SC is going to come back and defend. You can't take a fight without Chrono.
Yeah.
So when your Chrono is missed on the mid lane, you just say, you know what, we missed a Chrono, my mistake, let's just defend our tier 2.
Yeah.
I think that should have been the response.
That's one way, I guess, to see it.
I mean, I guess you just should have missed your Chrono, but, you know.
Yeah, well, it's risky
things happen like...
it's risky to try and use your Chrono on Centaur like that. But as you said, you should just not pressure when you don't have a big ulti like that. So it's for sure a mistake. But what I mean is that maybe they need to use the Void more in the guaranteed team fights.
Yeah.
And display the power that he's going to bring. And he's going into a BKB. Or maybe Sanj, I don't like this. He should just finish the meta style.
Well, they're trying to go on Boogie right now. Tree is nearby.
Yeah, no Stampede available, but still he can just walk away from that one. So he's going to be fine. Now with Centaur adding up Hood of Defiance, by the way, he's going to be fairly tanky to something like the OD Ultimate.
Yep.
Of course, the right click is still going to hurt, but the Ultimate at least not going to be as painful.
I think the SMY into...
I don't think it should be SNY. I think if you're going into Ogre Club, it kind of has to be a BKB. Yeah. And you can justify a BKB, of course. This way, the Mystic Flare is not going to prevent you from killing someone mid lane. FNG trying with the body blocks here against the Dusa. Put him down.
Okay, baited. Not bad. Are they going to fight this?
Well, that's already decent. You can just play it careful now and go for the push onto the tower, because there's no Medusa ultimate. And she also used her Manta Style, which is a pretty long cooldown, 50 seconds.
Surely. Midas on CD makes me sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of Midases ready.
They're gonna just destroy the creep wave by Midasing it.
Yeah, they can Midas the entire wave, almost.
Alright, Viper Strike's gonna come down. Nice Astro.
I'm always scared to do those Astros, because I don't want to Astral myself close to the enemy team like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it turns out horribly. A little bit too out of position. They do see the Treant with their Sentry Ward here.
They can't do anything about it. I mean, they could jump and throw all their spells on a Treant. In fact, they might actually do it, but it's like, alright, you killed the tree, but you just forfeited your tier 2. No, actually, they're gonna fight this. Surely not exactly trapped. You know,
are Polar actually scared? They have everything?
they shouldn't be scared.
No, the Dusa ulti is down.
Dusa ult is
Stampede,
down,
the
Stampede's down, Mystic Flare, like, why are they backing off?
The only thing to be scared of at that point is pure right click and ES landing an Echo Slam. So as long as you don't stack up, you can take that tower. And they're going to farm up the Ancients, but Ancients now not going to respawn because of this little ward blocking off.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as 4SC see somebody TP bot, which they just saw now, like, can you just say, you know what, let's make a play at Roche? Or are they going to farm Ancients instead?
They can. There's a ward though, so it's going to be immediately revealed if they do. And I think it's safer to not go for Roshan.
Okay.
And you know what you said about the Manta Style being bad item against Polar? Well, Viper heard it and he decided to go for a Manta Style as well. Just cause.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessarily bad. I mean, there is the overgrowth to get out of, which might be a big part of it for Valix at least.
Not impressed.
Well, I guess he doesn't want to go BKB, because there's nothing you can do with BKB against a Void, Treant, and Bane anyway. So, what other item would you go for? Yeah, so.
Yeah, Manta Style. It's like a pick between your poisons.
Yes, hashtag. So, mid, gonna try now with a smoke. Trying to find something. Jarek's sitting in a nice spot to reveal some of these smokes, though, if they walk just a little bit south, but they do.
You see the Dusa. They want the Dusa
Navigate around
jump.
it.
Chrono, it's going to be right there. They all drop the ult on him. Look at him. He has no mana, but they're diving behind the tower.
That was fast reaction by Matumba Man, and this could be horrible now for Polar.
They grip Trixie, and Trixie's very tanky. It looks like they're going to go on DK Phobos. He tried to purge off his own silence, but another silence immediately reapplied. DK Phobos goes down, and the rest of the team has to run. Looks like Treant went down without casting his ult as well. And the 4A SC comeback.
You don't run from a Viper, he runs at you.
Yeah.
So after that, that was amazing how fast he just dropped that ulti on Medusa. Matumba Man. The Finnish players, man, showing that Lamping reaction time. And now this is a Roche. There's no doubt about it. You can't go and stop this one. So Void is building towards his BKB, but I'm not impressed what, you know, at first we thought Polar had the itemization and everything figured out. But then in the execution, Finstack are just coming ahead.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they had the big lead. They had, you know, the 2-3 minuses. They won essentially every single lane. We didn't see Jurax going for crazy ganks.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
I'm not too sure about it. It's somehow Polar took some bad decisions, mostly not going together as 5 and not playing towards the Chronosphere. Even on mid lane, while they had Void killing off the Dusa solo top, which was really good, to be honest. But they're playing this in a very weird way. I don't know if DK Phobos should be on Void, because his play is very similar to how he would play on Medusa or on Puck or these aggressive heroes, where you can just play around for a very long time. But it seems it's not really working out, or maybe their draft is not coming together for him.
I was trying to do a little bit of detective work.
Yeah.
Between.
Did it work?
No, I didn't find out because it didn't update for that fight.
Yeah, I tried to check earlier in the fight as well, but I couldn't see it say anything about the mana being removed from the Medusa. I just saw the damage being applied.
Yeah.
So anyway, surely someone knows.
Maybe Shirley knows.
Maybe he does know. It does seem that, you know, from the ulti that he dropped there, it almost seems like it does apply first, because all the mana seem to be gone right after he threw his ulti.
Yep.
Which would not be the case, I think, if the damage is first.
So where do you look at if you're VP.Polar? Because it seems like this cute mana burning counter. Oh, Shirley's kind of in a big trouble. Nightmare is going to actually block the Viper. Oh, no more Force Staff. Shirley's dead.
Yeah, he is dead. So Pipe not actually working out for the Bane there. If he just had a simple Force Staff, he could have buddy forced his OD down to the bottom, to the low ground. But now this tower is completely exposed. Buyback is available on the OD, but it's probably going to be forced.
Or ASC playing really, really good. Where was the turning point? Was it that 2 team fights where somehow 4FC won?
Well,
especially that mid-team fight where Shirley TP'd in and just kind of got blown up.
Yeah, that was the mistake, to be honest. The execution on Polar, when they actually go together, has not been as stellar as the Finstack.
Right.
And this pressure now on mid lane is so hard to deal with. The Enfeeble is only level 1 as well, so it doesn't stop a lot of the damage from the Medusa here. I mean, they don't want to use the buyback, but you are getting raxed here slowly.
I mean, they got Chrono to throw out, they got Overgrowth to throw out, but
I don't think they should go for the melee rax first here, but maybe they will just
They have enough time, yeah.
This is a decision, though, from Polar, just letting them take the rax, because they could have bought back and tried to fight. Maybe they're just that scared of taking a fight right now.
No, even though this game is about defending our Ancients, it seems like game after game, as we see in the Dreamleague Phase 2, that teams just see Rax as a sacrificial
They don't care that much?
Yeah, remember that game between MVP Phoenix, where AM was sacrificing his team fight to backdoor top Rax?
Yeah.
And then the enemy team's like, you know what, we'll just turn back and kill your throne.
Yeah.
So,
I think that Finstack are in an amazing position right now, though, because they have 5,000 gold. They have Skadi, they have Manta Lincolns on the Medusa. She's rich as hell at this point.
Right. But here's the thing, though. Like, honestly, the amount of shield she's looking at doesn't do much. She's actually just working with 2,500 health and 20 armor, which, granted, still very, very impressive.
Yeah, but she's not the lone carry, though, because they have a 19,600 value Viper as well, who's not that easy to deal with either. And if he adds up something like
here's the thing,
MKB,
though. A Viper without mana, is he actually effective as a carry?
I think so. He just straight up right-clicks you. It doesn't matter if you have mana or not, I think.
And honestly, I don't think you're going to prioritize a Viper getting, Sanity's Eclipse. You make sure that, Dusa and only Dusa.
Going with the Aegis now, I think this pressure, it's before they buy a lot of items. They have some 15,000 gold that they could have spent before this push. So they're not as strong as they could be, but they want to use the Aegis.
Nice little illusion micro, debuffing the sleep.
Yeah. I really wish they had higher level and Feeble by now, but he's only level 11, so can you blame him? Maybe the Nightmare is not worth prioritizing in this game, I think.
Breaks the Lincolns again. It looks like they're going to try to engage here. I mean, they're just basically giving Matumba Man space to get this Aegis, or to get this tier 3. They will get it.
They can't give up this Rax as well. They have to take this fight right now.
It's hard to fight into it, like...
Yeah, but they don't have the lineup that wants to fight against super creeps on every lane.
That's true. That's
so
true. They gotta
I don't
jump
care
now.
if it's hard. You need to defend your Raxes.
All right, they're going to give it up.
Okay. Interesting decision by Polar to not take the fight.
In fact, the Treant was pushing up top all of this time.
Yeah, he ported very late. At some point, I think that Polar should also consider making just a value sell on their Midases. Maybe not on Void, because it does a lot of work for him.
Right.
But selling the Midas on your tree and selling your Midas on your OD and getting some items, taking the fight, because you just lost 2 lanes.
I mean, what item changes the course of the fight? At least...
I mean, if you look
Midas
at Treants...
give you 900 gold, right? If you sell
but
it.
look over at Treants. Having a Midas does actually nothing for you in a team fight.
I would
Having a
sell it
4-staff,
once I hit level 16.
Yes, but you're losing your base before you hit level 16.
A base is overrated.
I disagree. But when you have Voids and OD and these type of heroes, fighting against super creeps is actually very difficult. And also giving away this much map to Fenstack, I would say that was a huge mistake, giving away this. I mean, decision-making aside, maybe, you know, they are prioritizing not feeding away their heroes, but I think they gave away the entire game there, to be honest.
I agree.
There's an E-Blade on the Earthshaker.
I mean, that's more of a protecting the Dusa, right?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, not about really, like, or somebody that gets Chrono, E-Blade.
Courier is going to go down here. That's a lot of value tonight.
Not
Evasion
bad.
is
3,600.
He's pretty much stopping 2 butterflies.
They're going to try to kill him. Do they have a gem?
They actually don't, or at least not on any hero nearby. ES has it. So he denied 2 butterflies right there that were about, they would be done if they wanted to have them done right now. So a very nice little cute play by FNG.
Oh, they see him. Blink away again.
At least buys 3 minutes for his team. As I think that Finstack will not want to go aggressive without these 2 items. But double evasion coming up. How are you ever going to kill them? Like, you waited this long because it was hard to fight against the Aegis.
Right.
It was hard to take the team fight. Is it actually going to be easier ever if you don't contest your enemy?
I mean, if you look at evasion and ways to beat it, you're like, okay, we could get hexes, which they don't have hex carriers. Actually, they have OD, so there's that one way. And you could get an MKB on Void in theory, but they just don't have the gold.
He's not close to getting it, yeah. So, and at this stage, I completely disagree with a Diffusal Yasha build if you're not going to rush into level 2 Diffusal and Manta Style.
Yes.
Because that's the power of the build. I think what he made now is like a sort of in-between build.
I mean, the Yasha as a value farming item is not too bad.
Still worse than Mask of Madness.
That's true.
A value farming item.
That's true. And the Diffusal Blade is actually pretty poor if you're not hitting the Dusa. Like, if you're hitting anything else, the damage output is, like, pretty mediocre.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I would still argue that upgrading your Diffusal Blade just for the 15 extra agility is pretty worth doing early on. Because, I mean, he has 6 charges remaining on his Diffusal Blade. It's not going to run out of charges in this game anyway, at least not at a relevant pace. So, just as a cheap upgrade to your deeps and, I guess, your armor, worth making. But definitely this game is not looking good for VP.Polar.
See the Dusa.
Yeah, Polar is just chilling now because they have a courier that they're waiting for. They want to get the evasion on both the Medusa and the Viper. Pretty disgusting seeing that Medusa has so much gold and she also has items on the courier. I think it's just a quarterstaff for her, but for Viper it's the complete butterfly finish.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Smoke Gang. Is this going to be successful? Maybe they can get a kill here, but Boogie seems to be the only one close enough. That
I mean, that tier 2 being up, it's going to allow everybody TP and, or even buyback and TP if the fight goes south.
Well, they're going to run away, and they're going to get revealed by the Viper illusion as well.
I mean, there's creeps on the bottom lane in the Radiant Blaze. Like, no way they'll get caught.
True. FNG getting a nice ward drop at least, so gonna get some vision for them. And yeah, just the game slowing down. This is FNG's credit though. The fact that he killed the courier saved his team so much time.
Yep.
They were given,
Save time into what though?
well, losing later.
For making maybe one more play. But the couriers is coming out, and there's nobody to snipe. And this is a Hail Mary, storm down to the Roshan pit, trying to make something, anything happen.
Completely obvious. Enemy knows about it. Doing it with the ulti pop on Razor, so they have
Force
to fight
that
now.
forward from Shirley. He's just going to work, but looks like it's going to be double ultimate being used. Shirley, BKB.
Shirley's dead, man.
The Chrono's going to come out.
Maybe he lives.
All right, now he dropped a big ultimate. Matumba Man losing a ton of health, a lot of armor as well. Matumba Man is going to be dead, whether he likes it or not, but the big echo's going to come in. Matumba Man still very tanky thanks to the armor. He gets forced that forward. The Razor ultimate not going to burn him down either, and everybody is dead on VP.Polar.
Shirley calls out the GG as he knows there's no way he can actually stop this game. And they tried with the super obvious walking in. Did not work in the end. Very good positioning by Finstack as they knew the enemy were walking out there. Just standing on the ultra high ground.
Yeah.
The double high ground, so the enemy has to chase after them so long.
I mean, when the entire team throws everything on the Dusa and the Dusa still live, the game's over.
Well, they didn't have any MKB and they didn't have the Hex either because he used the Hex very early when he was
to
trying
hex
to
somebody
chase.
else, yeah. So the evasion doing a lot.
So yeah, definitely. In the end, I feel that, you know, Polar took strange fights. I think they had this game and sure, Finstack played well out of it, but they were at a position where I think that Polar could have closed this one out.
Yep. I think against a more experienced team, though, or a team that didn't make those mistakes in the mid-game.
Finstack would not be allowed to.
Yeah, Finstack would not have won that game.
Talking about like EGA, C9, Tinker.
Sure. Well, C9 you definitely could win games from.
Yeah,
Coming
okay.
back.
Lumi knows.
Yeah, I know.
Lumi Rare's never safe. Welcome back, Shiver.
Thank you very much. So normally, like, this would be the time where we're actually like discussing what the teams have done. But in between the series, or during this series, there was also another series going on. We had MVP Phoenix taking on Team Tinker. Spoiler alert: Team Tinker ended up winning 2-0 actually, so very convincing.
I want to see them. Where are the players, Shiver?
Oh, I'll tell you where they are, because they're on the couch. And Pyrian and Shane are with them. Of course, they were the ones to cast the game. Pyrian and Shane,
A couch without Bruno.
Hello.
it's all yours.
Hey, what's up? Wait, I might be muted.
I don't know if
You're
anyone's
not
working.
muted.
Hello. Hey. So, here. Well, he just gave it to me. Hold that.
On the microphone?
No, you need it.
Okay, I need it.
So Shane and I were just casting on the B stream, aka the best stream. Team Tinker against MVP. You guys picked it up in pretty convincing fashion. How do you think it went, Sam?
Oh, which game? Both games?
Yeah, both games.
The first game was a bit rough, the early part, but we had some really good team fights and some good calls, and we won the game. And they think they made one or two mistakes, but the second game was like I think kind of a big stomp, so it was kind of easy.
I have a question about the first game, right? Wait, did you plan on picking Storm Spirit the whole time, or was it just because of Sniper?
No comment.
He's sneaky.
Okay.
You went like 15-09, I think, on Legion in the second game, which was a really good performance. When you guys saw their aggressive tri-lane, were you worried? Because Shane was like, I don't know why MVP are doing this, and you guys were like, dealt with it really well.
I don't think they had a plan of going aggressive. I think they thought we were going aggressive, so they dodged with their. They had a very weak actual, not a weak lane, but their tri-lane will lose to ours on a 3v3 if we go aggro with the Jakiro. So I think they expected us to go aggro, and they sent the puck versus our tri-lane, and they had their tri-lane versus our solo bone.
Right.
But we kind of scouted them out a little bit at level 1, and we switched it up, and there was no way they could beat Bone, Skywrath, and Ogre with their tri-lane. So it's hard when they commit to the tri-lane in the start. It's very hard for them to like change their minds because the lanes were already the creeps were already starting.
Okay. How many times have you guys played against MVP Phoenix before?
A whopping total of 0.
So that was your first
As,
time?
like a team or as like
Well,
players?
either.
Well, at TI we played when I was on Liquid. We played them at the wildcard games. Or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how do you think they've changed as a team since then? Because a lot of people are saying they're getting better and better. Do you think you're seeing that?
I think individually they're really good, like mechanically. I think, and then watching them play the other games as well, they actually have some really nice strategy. I think versus us, I think they feared us a little bit, and they also they got outpicked. I think.
What was the story with
games.
the Void offlane? Like, he seemed to just shut him down so much, and he did nothing for ages.
I think it was just because of our tri lane. It's hard for Void to really solo off lane on Dire. I think because it's so easy to zone him, and we also warded the lane.
Yeah.
And the silencer last word is really good versus the Void.
So Pashka, you played on Razor in the first game, and then you played Legion Commander in the second game.
That's true.
I felt
Did you
so bad for
did you feel like you had it your way both
Yeah,
times?
me too. Huh?
Did you feel like you had it all your way both times? Because it seemed
No.
like it.
No, the first game was quite rough. It was it's kind of annoying laning as a Razor against Sniper, and then you have roaming A and Venge. You can't go up in the lane, and so then he gains a couple of levels on you and gains range and headshot, and then you can't do much. So I was slightly frustrated as a Razor, but then I got it going in the second game, so that was good.
Cool. Okay, so I think, Shane, do you have any other questions?
No, I think we take it to break.
Okay, so I think we're going to take it to a break now, guys, and we'll be back with the next series of games after this, which is, I think, same series. It's the second game anyway. We'll see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.